Hello, my name is Sammy and I have a chronic case of Poo Brain. Now, you may be wondering what Poo Brain is. Well, to me, Poo Brain is my strangeness in the face of an absurdly normal world. Sometimes, Poo Brain can be my friend. But sometimes, it can be really fucking lonely. I'm a university student, shit driver, and two-time award-winning filmmaker. Audience choice, mostly friends. Ever since I was 12, I always thought I had autism. All my teachers at school recommended I get diagnosed with it, but my parents, God bless them, said no. So why am I making this documentary? Well, throughout my life, I've always felt a bit different. So that's why I'm making this documentary, to rectify that. To understand who I really am and what Poo Brain is. I think if I got diagnosed when I was younger, I would have had a better time understanding these complex emotions that have gripped me for so long. So why didn't you get me diagnosed?
Because I don't think that whatever symptoms you may or may not have had at the time were serious enough to actually think that there was an issue with you. And it wasn't something that was particularly raised with us. You know, that we were advised that you should have got tested. It was something that people had said to us, you might want to get him tested, but it wasn't something that people said, you need to get him tested because he needs to be tested. That never happened.
I was actually quite scared of you getting an autism diagnosis when you were that age, because I felt no school wanted to give you a chance already. When you left, or when they wanted you to leave, Vic Prep, that was really difficult, and for no reason other than at that time you didn't read or write very well. And I felt if you then had a diagnosis, they'd be like, okay, well the only place he can go is this school and be in a special needs unit thing. Yeah. And I didn't really feel that was appropriate.
We were advised to send you to St Saviour's because they could help with people with dyspraxia and with special needs, as they called it.
Yeah.
But when you went there, what they actually did with you was kind of just shove you into a room with lots of lights and figures, that wasn't helping you at all.
So when you were at St Saviour's School, so 7, 8, so there was going to be a meeting, I think what they call like a multidisciplinary meeting where they'd have a chat about you. Yeah. But because you left, that never happened. And I think if that had have happened, they may have sent you to have a diagnosis. Yeah. And if you had been diagnosed, I really worried that would have just labelled you and you wouldn't have had the chance to take certain exams or go to university, because and maybe that's completely wrong, maybe the absolute opposite would have happened, but that was my fear at the time.
Oh, what was that story? The one where I said that thing to that guy. Do you remember? Yes.
Sammy, I met you when I came to your school, didn't I?
Yeah, well, I knew you all the way back in nursery, but I didn't know you.
Year 3.
So, do you think I have autism?
Yes.
We were on holiday once, and you would have been about 6 or 7, and you made an invention which you called bag pants. Do you remember this? It was basically a plastic, like an old-fashioned one of the little plastic shopping bags, which are quite see-through. And you put a hole in each side of the bag and put your legs through them, hooked the handles of the plastic bag over your shoulders, and wore this plastic bag like lederhosen, but you would be naked underneath it. So all you could see through this sort of see-through plastic bag is 7-year-old Sammy's little bit showing through. But you loved it. You'd wear it every day.
But I would say your emotions are hyperbolized. You get very happy. When you get really happy, you start moving.
Yeah, start dancing.
Like you're in a reggae band.
Yeah.
And then when you're sad, you get really sad. You go quiet.
Do you think me getting tested for autism would benefit me, or would not really do anything?
Well, I mean, there's two sides to that, right? Because you've lived 22 years without that diagnosis, and I think you're doing just fine. But, I mean, so having autism, I guess if that could give you closure, if you want to get tested with that, they can give you some methods for coping with that. But
Yeah.
I think you already have all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, and also, you don't want to turn out that you don't have autism, and then
Oh.
your life has been a whole lie.
Well, that's the thing. If it does come back and it sounds like my life is a
So
whole
it turns
lie,
out you're just a really weird guy.
I'm just strange, but I think I want that. You know, if it is a lie, I kind of want that sooner rather than later, so I can then like learn to live with that.
I think being weird is a good thing, really.
Yeah.
It makes you interesting.
I had a very like fully enriched childhood,
Yeah.
and like I was so encouraged to do everything and anything.
Yeah.
But I think there was always like something else, that I was just never satisfied with things, and I was always so anxious, and like
Yeah.
I couldn't really process my emotions. My mental health got a lot worse.
Yeah.
And I remember I was having CBT, and with CBT it just wasn't working at all. Like nothing to do with it was working. And I remember
Yeah.
my therapist turned to me and was like, "Jess, have you considered you probably have autism?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
probably." And with that, I then went
Yeah.
back to have conversations with like my parents at the time, and I was really fortunate that I could get a private diagnosis. I just forgave myself for a lot of the things
Yeah.
that I felt I couldn't do or I really struggled with, and I gave myself more time and space
Yeah.
to be myself.
This was normal because it was our normal. You can see, I mean, that, you know, I don't have anything to compare that with. You know, I can't say that, well, before Sammy, I had, you know, another child that was completely different, and this is how Sammy was different to that child, because Sammy was Sammy.
Do you think you need a label though to understand yourself?
I don't think I'd need a label, but
Yeah.
it's something I think where I'm at an age now where it would be nice to have something
Yeah.
like a physical thing saying, you know, the
Yeah.
reason you struggled to make friends, the reason you struggled to fit in, and the reason I've still struggled to like talk to people, especially with my family like you, it was because of this pre-existing condition, not because there's something wrong with me specifically.
So like when I got diagnosed with cancer,
Oh yeah.
you never asked me anything about it, and so I never talked to you about it.
I didn't know you got diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah, you did. I told you.
Did you? 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember I found out when you were in Southampton and Grandma told me you were getting
Yeah.
a tumour removed.
Yeah.
So I didn't know you had cancer until you were actually getting a tumour removed.
Yeah, I didn't tell you when I had the operation. I didn't tell you because I didn't want to worry you. But I
Yeah.
did tell you before I went there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't hear about that.
I did tell you. You were
Yeah.
sitting in your room, and you said to me, and I said to you, I have to go to Southampton to have treatment. And you said to me, do you have cancer? And I said, yes. And you started laughing.
What?
Yeah.
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 I don't remember doing that.
You may have blocked it out. Don't worry, it's fine. But what I'm saying is...
Because I was really worried when you were in Southampton. Like, the way I found out you had cancer was Grandma was taking me somewhere and
Yeah.
she told me. I don't remember that happening.
Yeah, no, I did tell you. But don't worry. Don't worry. Oh, the reason I mention it is because...
Maybe I thought you were joking. I don't know.
The only reason I mention it is because you don't... If you're worried about things, you're saying, oh, you were really worried
Yeah.
when me and your dad got divorced. But you
Yeah.
never... And you didn't speak to me about it. But you never asked questions, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which meant I didn't talk to you because I thought, oh, you just don't want to talk about it. You'd rather
Yeah.
not talk about it.
I think because I struggle to communicate with people, it means I end up distancing myself from my family. You know, I got bullied a lot when I was a lot younger, and I think kind of part of that was made me want to distance myself from my family because I didn't want them to know what I was going through at school and how upset the people around me were making me. I wanted to seem strong for them, especially my mum, because I know she struggled a lot herself with her work life and the divorce she was going through. I think when she got breast cancer and I thought she was going to die, I just kind of retreated in my own world away from that, and I couldn't speak to her about it. I couldn't talk to her about it because I was scared of kind of confronting those feelings, and I don't know why I laughed. I don't know why I don't remember laughing or remember even talking about it with her. I'd like to think that there's someone who's not autistic who could love me, because I am autistic, but I mean I don't want to be different from other people. I just want to be normal. I just want to be a normal person who can talk to normal people and have normal relationships. But I can't be that person. I'm not that person. I'll never be that person. And while I am a lot better at coming to terms with that. I don't want to be someone who's different, someone who gets looked at in funny ways because I do something silly. When I was the ages between 50 and 18, every day I would have panic attacks, I would have suicidal tendencies. I wanted to kill myself when my mum had breast cancer because I thought I was going to lose a really important person in my life and I had nothing else to live for. And I know at the time, I didn't seem like I took it all that seriously, but when she was in Southampton, I kind of realised what was happening. I genuinely wanted to end my life.
I don't really think there's any separating yourself and autism. Everything you do fundamentally is autistic if you're autistic, because there's no separating one another. And I think with that, you have to understand the strengths, otherwise you wouldn't like yourself as a person.
Well, I think a big strength I found through going through this process is just finding more independence in myself, because I've never been someone who's especially independent, but I think speaking through my feelings with professionals, speaking with my family about how kind of my past experiences have made me feel, and moving out, moving away and getting that kind of independence through this diagnosis and through understanding myself better, I think it's set me up for a lot of opportunities.
There's a lot of stigma that you can't be independent with autism.
Yeah.
And actually realising that you can,
yeah,
that was a really big turning point for me as well, because I think that really scared me, because I moved out of home not long after being diagnosed, and realising that I actually could be an incredibly independent person was really important. And I think you realising that now is probably will really help.
Well, it will upset me that it's negative. I don't think that will change me, because being easily manipulated, shutting down when something serious happens, those aren't autistic traits, those are just traits people have. And while it's not the best traits to have, it's what I have, so I just got to deal with it.
There's worse traits as well.
Yeah, there's worse traits as well, but if you don't like that about me, don't be friends with me, full stop. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that was good. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
No. Oh.